So, PFF posted this. One free agent teams can't afford to lose in the AFC North. And the four guys are T. Higgins, Adarius Washington, which makes no sense at all, to be honest. The reason why Adarius Washington makes no sense is he's a restricted free agent. They're not going to lose him. It's like how Jake Browning's situation went. Like, the Ravens are not going to lose Adarius Washington. So, I don't know if 100% second this, because again, it's like, this is not a guy they're going to lose. But okay, Devin Bush, Elandon Roberts. All right, a middle linebacker, free safety, wide receiver. Let's start off with, again, Darius Washington. He's not going to leave. He's restricted. So let's talk about Devin Bush. Asked a couple Browns fans about this and what they thought about Devin Bush and if he was a key free agent. And based on what I've been told, they are down so bad and going through so much turmoil that it's not the biggest free agent lost, but at this point, losing anyone is a loss, just because of how their team is at this moment in time. Yeah, it's one of those situations where, do I think they could replace him? Absolutely. I think they could replace Devin Bush. I think they could do it in free agency, or this upcoming draft's really good at the linebacker position. So I think they could figure out a way to replace him. And that same thing goes with Elandon Roberts. I think, again, free agency or the draft, you could really figure out a way to replace them, right? Darius Washington, he's not going anywhere. So then let's talk about T. Because for me, there's three players on our roster right now that we can't afford to lose. T. Higgins, Mike Hilton, and finally, B.J. Hill. Those are three guys we cannot afford to lose. No matter what way you sum it up, what way you put it, that's really my list of three guarantee we cannot lose. B.J. Hill, especially after losing DJ Reader. Sheldon Rankins is probably going to get cut in the end. Chris Jenkins is amazing. And same thing with Jackson. But at the end of the day, we need someone who's truly a starter, a veteran starter who can play at a very high level like B.J. Hill can. Not only does he get a couple interceptions, had 2 interceptions, not this season, but last season. The guy's an absolute animal. Mike Hilton, so dominant in the run game. Great tackler. Not the greatest coverage guy anymore, but still really great when it comes to shutting down the run, and same thing with B.J. Hill. So that's our run defense right there, those two guys. And then T. Higgins, well, what are we going to do at receiver? We lose T. Higgins, Yoshi becomes number 2. Our number 3 is Jermaine Burton. And what's going to happen with that situation, because he's all over the fence and we don't know what's going on with him. And then behind that, Chuck Sizzle is always a punt kick returner. He's not going to automatically become our wide receiver 4, I would assume. So Isaiah Williams would probably be that guy. And then we would have to draft someone or sign somebody. So if I had to put them in order, I feel like, given the situation at hand, T would be the worst loss. Just because, I know he's dealt with injuries, just because I feel like that's how our offense gels the best. See, I don't know, I can't even say that. I can't even say that, actually. Now that I think about it. B.J. Hill has to be the biggest loss if we lose. If we lose, B.J. Hill is a huge loss. So it's, again, all three of these guys combined, all three of these guys are very, very, very close, okay? It's not like one is automatically way better than the other if we lose one. All three is a huge losses. But I gotta say B.J. Hill, actually. I think B.J. Hill would be my pick because without him, our run defense isn't a run defense. We don't have a run defense. Without Mike Hilton, our run defense is a lot worse. We saw that throughout this year when he wasn't playing. there was problems with the run defense. It has been over the last couple years. Now we're getting Al Golden. Who knows how that will turn out? Maybe Chris Jenkins gets a bigger role. You know, maybe other things start working out better. We sign somebody, we draft somebody, but I feel like BJ Hill's the biggest loss. T is so close to a second, and then Mike Hilton 3. Mike Hilton, the only reason why he's 3 is because I do feel like we could technically hit free agency and get a veteran corner and who is really good in run defense, but you're just not going to be able to fully replace Mike Hilton. So yeah, I gotta go BJ Hill number 1. Again, it hurts me to say that because I love T, and T would be my number 1 in every circumstance. But it's just the fact that BJ Hill does so much, I think that people don't really truly realize. He is that, you know, plug in the hole. Pulse. He is that, you know, absolute unit on that defensive line that not only is he good at getting after the quarterback and pushing guys back into the quarterback, he's also good at shutting down the run. So he's like a combo. He's a Swiss Army knife. So, yeah, I'd probably put it there. For the Ravens, I mean, again, like I said, because Darius Washington, I don't even know who are the Ravens going to lose. Let me check out free agency for the Ravens. Deontay Johnson, they're going to lose him. That's not a big deal. Tre'Davious White, I feel like might be a bigger, well, not a bigger loss, but I think Tre'Davious White is going to be a huge loss if they lose Tre'Davious White. Yeah, the Ravens aren't really losing anyone too crazy insane. Like, their free agency class is actually not that bad. Patrick Ricard would come back. Brent Irvin would be a huge loss for them. Yeah, but it's definitely not, I'll tell you right now, it's definitely not going to be freaking Washington when they're not going to lose the guy. I mean, it's restricted free agents like Jake Browning situation. They're going to keep him. For the Steelers, I guess losing losing Russell Wilson would be a huge loss for them. I know it doesn't sound like much of a loss, but I feel like that would be up there. Cam Sutton would be a humongous loss for them. Najee Harris might be a loss. Okay, so here's the thing, right? For the Steelers, I put a slash down the middle, right? And I say Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Both of them are free agents. So it's one of the two would be a humongous loss for them. Because if they lose both of those free agents, quarterbacks, then who is their quarterback? Like, for real, they don't have a quarterback. And they don't have a top 5 pick, top 10 pick because they did what they always do. They barely get to the playoffs. They get in the playoffs and they go one and done. So I would say with them, I would probably put a combo of Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Najee Harris as the biggest losses. I know that a lot of Steelers fans are going to say, well, we have Jalen Warren, and Jalen Warren's good. He's the guy who's going to take off. Yeah, but Najee's a nice complementary back with him. It's a 1A, 1B type scenario, but tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys next one. Peace.